Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Brandon E. Church Softball Complex on the beautiful campus of South Caldwell High School, where we have a great game coming up for you tonight in our best of three series in the West Finals between South Caldwell High School and Weddington. Coach, we have a great matchup tonight coming at us, and all these fans right here are looking forward to it. What are you thinking about tonight?
Man, this is Western Regional Final. You got your two top teams in the Western part of North Carolina, both battling to get through to play next week. And I'm excited because I feel like every time that we're asked to do this, all of these games come down to the very end. It's a great, exciting game. So hopefully for you watching at home and for us here today, we get more of the same, where we're on the edge of our seats just like you and get to see a great softball game between two great teams.
Exactly right. And I tell you what, there's been no shortage of, I want to say, intense, competitive softball in these playoffs so far for South Caldwell. Weddington on the other end of it has thrown a shutout every game except this past Tuesday, where South Caldwell was victorious 1-0. So you got to think you're going to see two great pitching matchups again. This is the second time they've played each other, once earlier in the year. In that game, it was a 10-8 slugfest, which we saw a McCartney-Harrington 3-run home run in the bottom of the sixth, put South ahead, and then South went ahead and shut them down in the top of the seventh. So different story the other night, Tuesday. Pitchers duel, 1-0. What do you think we can expect tonight from these two pitchers?
I think that both of these pitchers, we're going to see them attack the zone again. Obviously getting pretty familiar with each other. We're going to talk about here in a minute. South has a change in the starting pitcher in the circle. Yep. As far as we know, Weddington's still going to go with Joella Thomas, going to be in the circle. Just a great pitcher going to Lenore Ryan. And so, I'm excited to see what this goes. I would be shocked if it ends up 1-0 again. These offenses are too good to be held down, and especially after seeing each other on Tuesday. Yep. I would be very shocked if we're seeing a one-run put up on the board tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was no different the other night for Thomas. She came out absolutely smoking it in the first two innings. Struck out 5 out of the first 6 hitters. She was commanding the zone the entire night, and once again, McCartney-Harrington, top of the 5th inning, comes with a big swing, puts it over the fence, and then South comes out, plays great defense, pitches the ball well. They end up with that 1-0 victory, but you could tell, at the end of the game, they started feeling Maddie Moore out a little bit, started getting on her a little bit, and then we ended up bases loaded with that, making that third out with a line drive to Emily Coffey in left. And but really, Thomas commanded the zone the entire night, so I don't think it's going to be different tonight. So.
Well, and I really liked what Weddington's head coach said in the newspaper. Charlotte Observer, asked her after the game what she thought, and obviously her team's down in the series 1-0. They're going on the road up here. But what she said was really, there's a lot of truth to it. They came up here back in April and scored 8 runs at this field against this team. Yep. So she has all the confidence in the world in her team, and rightfully 100%. So, because they've had a great year and they've been they've won a lot of ball games and they have a great offense. So they're going to come out swinging it. They've seen Zaley back in April. I do think it's a good thing if you're South Caldwell being up 1-0. You're afforded the opportunity to where you can throw Zaley tonight, give him a different look, and maybe you don't have to manage this game with just quite as much of a sense of urgency as Weddington, obviously, because if South Caldwell wins, they're going on. If Weddington wins, we're going to play tomorrow night. But I'm very interested to see Zaley Brown in the circle tonight and how she attacks this lineup. But
that's exactly right.
But Weddington has a lot of confidence, and rightfully so.
And they do, and it's like you were saying, the pressure is a little bit on Weddington to have to win. They have to win, or they're going home. And South Caldwell, on the other hand, play a little bit looser. Yeah. They may come out tonight and be all over Thomas. We don't know that, but they hit her really well, like you said, in April. But the pressure is all on Weddington tonight. But I hope that doesn't mean that South Caldwell is going to take their foot off the gas.
Yeah, I don't think so. We were talking a little bit before while we're out here, and it seems like talking with a couple of the coaches here at South Caldwell, that they came up to the facility after school today and said it's just a different vibe, and they're ready to go. And obviously, you're up for every game, and every game is a big game, but these are the biggest of games. And they said, we walked into the locker room today, and usually, they kind of have this, they might be joking around a little bit, kind of feeling loose. Said today they're locked in and just ready to get after it and just go play. They said they wish they could have played at 3:30 just so they went ahead and played.
Yeah.
Have to sit around for a little bit. But
as soon as school's out, just get out here and let's get after it.
Well, there were enough chairs out here at school as school was out.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
People were sitting out chairs last night.
Exactly right. We came by this morning, and it looked like there were 150 people sitting here in the stands, but they were all empty chairs. They're not empty right now, I'll tell you that. You look around here, and there's at least 300 to 400 people here already, and if you're tuning in and you're coming, you better get here quick because we're running out of real estate for you to sit. So come on down or just stay tuned in. It doesn't matter to us as long as you get to see the ball game.
It's and great weather tonight too. Feels fantastic out here. Quite the difference of last week having to fight the rain a little bit, but we're just very fortunate to be here tonight. That's for sure.
That's exactly right. We got a little wind blowing straight out to center field. So if one thing, these pitchers are going to have to keep the ball down. And here's what we know about Zaylee Brown. She does a great job keeping the ball down. She's a ground ball pitcher, throws the drop ball a lot, has a great changeup. So she's all about keeping the ball down and getting them to beat it into the ground, which is going to work well, I think, for her. And Thomas, on the other hand, she's I'm coming right at you. And if you hit it, you hit it. You don't, you don't. And a lot of times they don't. So, like I said, Tuesday night, she came out absolutely pumping and commanded the zone and was outstanding. So I'm looking forward to this matchup, specifically for the pitchers tonight. Yeah,
Brown with that drop ball, you don't really want to coach a game or manage a game really with, how the weather is. But, I mean, it's part of it. So the drop ball would definitely play in there. And, Thomas going after him, she likes to throw that rise ball, but, their curve ball is very good too. So she can throw whatever she wants, wherever she wants it. So pitching location definitely going to be a key, because if you hit a pop-up to deep center field, it might just carry on over that fence.
You're exactly right. Here's a stat for you. The other night, South Caldwell did not have one ground ball out. They were all pop flies and all fly balls and the one home run. So tonight, if that ball gets up in that jet stream, it may carry a little bit further than it did the other night. So we'll see how that goes.
Field might be playing a little bit smaller.
It may be. It may be. But for every fan here, they're hoping like it dies down a lot. And it would be good to see that flag drop straight down and have nothing going on. But the way it is right now, it is dead center field, at least 15 to 20 miles per hour out. So, well, let's talk about the roads that each of those teams took to get here, Coach. What do we know about Weddington? Who did they play the first few rounds, and how did they get to this point?
So Weddington came into the state playoffs here as the #1 overall seed in the West.
Right.
Had a great year. They win their league, the regular season portion of their league. They did drop in their conference tournament to Marvin Ridge, a great Marvin Ridge team. Had a good little run themselves. Good conference down there. But we talked about it a little bit earlier with Weddington. The home run by McCartney Harrington in the 6th inning the other night was the first run they'd given up in the entire state playoffs. So that in itself shows you how good that Joella Thomas can be.
Absolutely.
But Weddington, the first round beats East Meck 10-0. Second round, they go on to play Lake Norman at home, win 2-0. Then they play McDowell, future conference mate of South Caldwell next year, and win 8-0. And then beat a good Reagan team 3-0. We saw South Caldwell saw West Forsyth last Friday night, and that's the same league as Reagan. Great team down there in Winston-Salem, and then obviously the loss from Weddington on Tuesday, 1-0. But you just look at it, it's just been a dominant run. The run for Weddington has been different than South Caldwell, because you're going to talk about South Caldwell here in a minute, being in some close games. But just Weddington's great team, great, well coached, great players. Their run shows just how dominant that they can be. And I know these South Caldwell people don't want to see it, but I don't think it would shock anybody if Weddington comes out tonight and just puts it on South Caldwell. And they've got the pitching, they got the defense. They could absolutely keep a South Caldwell offense down. And they've shown that they can do that over and over. So, really dominant run in the playoffs. And from their perspective, you give up one run in 5 games of state playoffs, and you have one loss to show for it. That's pretty crazy.
So it's nuts for sure.
So that really good team here.
So South Caldwell on similar as far as Marvin Ridge beat Weddington twice. Well, South Caldwell lost 2 games to Alexander Central in the year, and they finished 8-2 in second conference, 29-2 overall. So that's the only team they lost to, and they're coming in on a 13-game win streak. And as far as their road here, they had Porter Ridge in the first round, which they beat 14-2. Played really well. The bats were hot. Then they're on the road at Huff, in which it looked kind of dicey there for a while, and then they end up having to hit a big home run to get past Huff. And then, of course, they had AC in that third round, and everybody knows how AC and South Caldwell goes. So that was AC was up 2-1 in the series. South Caldwell comes back, they even it up, and that even made them move on to the next round against West Forsyth. And West Forsyth was even, for 5 innings, West Forsyth controlled the game. They were up 2-0, and then all of a sudden there's a 3-run home run, and then 2-run home run tie, and then you come back in later innings and they score 3 more to go up 5-2, end up winning that game, which moves them on ultimately to this round right here, where they defeated Weddington 1-0. And like we said the other night, as well a pitched game as you will ever see in a softball game anywhere, any state, any time between those 2 pitchers. So I don't expect there to be a lot of difference tonight, especially with Brown pitching the ball down, she pitches more to contact than Maddie Moore does, and we'll see how the defense really carries out for her tonight.
Yeah, you talk about the difference in their runs. We were at West Forsyth last Friday night, and there were a lot of people, admittedly, that for South Caldwell, after the 5th inning, it's 2-0, and you're kind of looking at each other like, ooh, I don't know about this one, but the case was the same the week prior at Huff as well, when they're in the 7th inning down by 2 runs, and have to have the big home run late. So the adversity that South Caldwell is facing in the state tournament is definitely going to benefit them.
Absolutely. And
how they've kind of, and you think about it through the whole year too, losing those 2 games to Alexander earlier, they've kind of had to play from behind a little bit, chasing the entire year.
That's exactly right.
And here they are still battling, and so there's not going to be a spot in this game tonight that's going to phase anybody in that dugout for South Caldwell, because if they're facing a deficit, they're going to look at each other and say, okay, well, here we are again. It's okay. We're just going to keep playing like we have all year, and keep getting after it.
That's right. Both teams battle tested. They know each other. 2 games now they've seen each other. They have, I'm sure, video, tape, whatever you want to call it now, on each other and what they've done in the books. So it's one of those where you're like, hey, let's see what happens here. We may either try to pitch in reverse tonight, pitch this girl this way again, or this girl this way, but I guarantee you, every time they've gotten somebody out, they're going to keep doing it until they have to change it.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about this game. I know we talked about it last week when we were at Alexander Central, because they're so familiar with each other. Well, now you've got the same type thing here. And if you're a hitter, you're going up to the plate, well, okay, I've got 6 at-bats against this girl, here's how she's got me out. You might be expecting that, and then they come with something completely different, because here's your 3rd time playing them. They've got every kind of stat that they want on each other. They've got the scouting reports. They're just detailed, and they got whatever they need. But obviously, you go with what works. You go with what you're most comfortable with. So it'll be interesting to see both how the pitchers attack each other and how the hitters get in the box. Are they aggressive? Are they going to try to wait them out? What are we going to see? So we'll just see how that goes.
Oh yeah, and tonight, as far as crowd, the other night down at Weddington, the announcer came on, said there were 109 people at the game at Weddington the other night. Okay, just kind of looking here, there's 109 people behind home plate, and you're wondering, hey, has Weddington seen this all year? Our girls have seen this all year. South Caldwell has seen this almost every game, and even more so in those games against Alexander Central, where there's 500 or 600 people there. So you got to figure, is this going to bother Weddington? Or are they going to step up, rise to the occasion? Like, hey, there's a lot of people here. But our girls, like you said, they're not fazed by anything really, and they almost crave that late pressure to get them really pumped up and get them going. I'd like to see them come out tonight in the first few innings and say, hey, we're here we go, and hit the ball, so they didn't have to do that. And I'm sure Weddington's probably thinking the same thing. Let's get after it early. So the team who gets on it the most early right here has definitely got the advantage.
Yeah, and I think you talk about Weddington playing in front of a crowd like this. I think one of the best things I've heard when you're playing kind of in a hostile environment on the road somewhere. Something I heard from you one time, which, there's a lot of people here tonight who have never seen some of these girls for Weddington play softball before.
Right.
So they have a chance to hit first and score first, to get in the box and do things and show these people here at South Caldwell. And hey, I know we lost the other night and we lost to you back in April, but hey, we know how to play softball too. We know what we're doing. So I think Weddington's going to be fired up. I'm excited to see that too. I think they're going to be ready to go here from the jump. Obviously, their season's on the line. That obviously plays a big role in it too. But
you're exactly right. So and here's tonight, as far as everything goes. We've been able to put this broadcast on for 6 games now this year. 1 game last year. We'd like to do it every time. The reality is there's a lot of things that go into these broadcasts. There's expenses, being able to get permission and do things. And I would like to throw a shout out tonight to Town of Sawmills, Chase Weinberger, town manager down there. They have been gracious enough to sponsor us for tonight's game, giving us the money to put forth for this broadcast for Blue Bear Productions and Jason McGinnis's broadcast. And we can't thank Jason enough as well for allowing us to come in here and do this. And once again, South Caldwell High School for allowing us to do this. And it benefits everybody. It benefits Weddington, it benefits South Caldwell, or any team that's playing against them is who it benefits. So we'd like to give that huge shout out to Sawmills, Town of Sawmills tonight.
Absolutely. Chase and his whole crew over at Sawmills, they obviously take care of everything, take care of those residents, and then obviously taking care of this tonight. We couldn't be more thankful for, he came up to me over at Alexander Central last week and was like, hey, what do we got to do? What do we need to do to help you with these things? So, and we're thankful for people that want to support and help us to put these on. And I know we're just super thrilled to be here every time we get a chance to do it.
That's exactly right. And a lot of these girls have gone through some of those softball programs down there, as well as the softball programs at Granite Falls Recreation Department, run by Chad Raby down here. We had to pass it to come into the entrance here at South Caldwell. As we were coming by, every field was filled up with either baseball or softball players, hoping to some point get to right here. And that's the thing that those recreation departments around here do. And Sawmills takes it to a level of, they have announcers for games, they do walk-up music, just to kind of get the kids pumped up about it, which is the same things they're going to see, as they move forward with, middle school, high school, college, where they want to play. And we can't thank them enough.
Yeah.
Both recreation programs, man, I tell you what, top notch.
Hey, you remember back conference tournament championship game when Alexander was here, and old Chad Raby and Granite Falls had the fireworks going off.
Exactly
late in the game.
right.
Think we might have some of those later again?
Oh, I hope we do. I hope we see them right over top of that Brandon E. Church scoreboard out there, baby. That'd be really nice. A lot of people leave here happy, I promise you that.
Well, and you talk about all those kids, or the girls especially, that want to be on this field someday, and you know that some of them are talking about, hey, as soon as your game's over tonight, we're going to ride down the road and try to get in here for the last couple innings of this game.
Yeah.
And definitely Sawmills everywhere around here, those making things a big deal for these young athletes and getting them to come out here and want to play, so that they can have that dream of wanting to be out here one day and be one of these.
Exactly right.
Be one of these 16, 18 girls that are out here swinging the bats for South Caldwell, getting ready to play.
Speaking of swinging the bats, Sawmills just added a new collegiate baseball in the Old North Conference, and it is the Sawmills Timber Kings, who are really fun to watch, by the way. We saw them play our American Legion team, Post 29, the other night in a 2-game series. First one down at Sawmills with Timber Kings, and Post 29 took that first game of that series, and then the very next night, Sawmills came back, defended that loss, and picked up the victory against Post 29. So a lot of good baseball going on, a lot of good softball going on, and if you're wanting to know where they play down at Veterans Park in Sawmills off of Waterworks Road. And they have a very beautiful facility down there that's Town of Sawmills, Tanner Green, and those guys, Daniel Bowman, Garrison Burris, and those guys have really done a great job getting that field ready to go, which they loaned it to us when our field and school was being renovated a few years back, and we can't thank them enough. So if you want to watch some ball, there are places to watch it. Sawmills Timber Kings, Post 29, Sawmills Municipal Park on Baird Road. Always games going on there. If you're a fan, get out and watch these teams.
Yeah, some people, especially with rec games, feel like sometimes these parents, anybody can say, oh, it's just a game, it's just a game. Those games mean more to those guys running that rec department than anything.
That's
and
exactly
they
right.
want every game to feel like it's Game 7 of the World Series.
That's exactly right.
And they provide those opportunities. It's fantastic to see.
That's exactly right. One thing they have done to help secure that is during the off season, they put in an indoor facility in one of their old maintenance sheds, and it is absolutely top notch. I'm talking turf, cages, 4 cages. They have pitching machines in there for both softball and baseball, and right now it's limited to all those teams that are going through Sawmills to play, which, that's just the way it is. I mean, they're paying for it. That's who's going to be using it. And let me tell you something, seeing those kids get into an indoor facility with their own team, it's fun to watch.
Their eyes light up.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, the pitching machines, wanting to get the TrackMans, be able to track all kinds of stuff.
That's exactly right.
Get in there with some sound systems going on with some music blaring. They make sure that they have everything they need.
And they even made a parent room where the parents can go watch. There's cameras in there. They can watch their kids practicing instead of being in there in the facility because there's only room for the teams. So the parents can go in the room and watch.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And selfishly, with all that Sawmills does for post-29 softball, we'll get that started again here in a few weeks.
That's exactly right.
Making sure we have everything we need for that.
Coach is going to be modest, but he is the 2-time defending state champions in Junior Legion softball. Congratulations, Coach. That's 2 years. And he's taken over the senior team this year, and we're hoping for the kind of same, not to put any pressure on you.
Nah, that's okay.
Those, results is what people want, right?
Hey, here's all I know. We're blessed with great girls.
Exactly right.
Any of you watching this right now could come out and do it because these girls are so good. You could throw their names on a wall and throw a dart, and that'd be your lineup, and the result would still be the same. Fantastic group of girls, fantastic group of parents. Right. Everybody got it going on to help us out.
And I tell you what, those girls are a product of their parents in every way. Yep. When you have good parents that give good support, and they allow you to say, here she is. Go coach her to the best of your ability. Do what you need to do to get her better as a softball player and help this team win.
Yep.
If you can have that from every parent, man, your coaching job is easy.
Absolutely. You're all set. It's all you could ever want. And so, man, we got, like I said, great girls. We're excited to get that going again. We got Gabe Gregg sitting right down here below us. He's going to be coaching the Junior Legion team. Really excited. We got 22 girls in Senior Legion, 21 girls in Junior Legion. We got a bunch of interest. We just got good athletes here that are excited to play and excited to honor the men and women who have served our country in that way this summer. So we'll get it going here in a couple weeks.
Outstanding. Hey, we got our plate meeting going on, Coach. Right now, explaining field dimensions, what's going on out there, and you can bet when this thing's over, when that plate meeting's over, we're going to hear a national anthem, and we're going to get after it.
It's creeping up on us. We came on here about 20 minutes ago. Felt like it was forever.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at about 7 or 8 minutes from first pitch, and I know, just like all of you, we're ready to get this thing rolling.
There's going to be a lot of excited people here in just a few minutes. I'm excited.
I think everybody here is. I think everybody's good to go.
Yeah, if we could just pan down through here, I don't know if we can or not, just to show you the amount of people here right now. And I can see cars lined up out the gate down there coming in right now to find a parking spot in the parking lot. So that in itself is exciting.
And, hey,
we get 100 more people in
shout
here.
Shout out to the students out there in the left field lounge.
Yeah.
Got the grill going. They're ready to rock and roll over there.
They are.
Yeah, we were out there a little bit for that Alexander Central game several weeks ago, and those kids out there, making the hot dogs and hamburgers and almost treating it like a little college football game, a little bit. Tailgate.
They're hoping one of those South Caldwell hits makes it to that deck out there. Exactly what they're thinking.
Will they get out of the way, or will they stay in there and try to grab that thing? Because they got to battle the sun, and I don't see any gloves down there either.
I don't see any gloves either. They might be trying to catch it with their hats or in the face. All right, lineups. I tell you what, Weddington's leadoff hitter is a dangerous hitter. We saw her rip it here in April, and the way we pitched her on Tuesday was beyond amazing by Maddie Moore and whoever's calling pitches. I want to say Aaron Morris over there is calling pitches for South Caldwell, and I'll tell you what, they pitched her exactly how they needed to.
Yeah, the leadoff hitter sets the tone for the entire lineup. You know, we've seen that with South Caldwell with McCartney Harrington, but same thing here tonight with Lamantia and Weddington. You know, if you keep that one off base, your chances of winning go up exponentially, and you can just set the tone that way, whether in the box or at the circle.
Oh yeah, you're exactly right. That's where it all starts. First person in the box, and it's going to be her tonight.
Number 18, Sierra Morris. Number 21, Ella Alston.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get a starting lineup for the Spartans. They're already on the line, ready to go. Not even waiting to be called out.
It's kind of feels like calm before the storm a little bit.
It really does.
Catcher, number 4, McCartney Harrington. Second, the center fielder, number 2, and Sydney Woodward. Third, the shortstop, number 3, Sydney Bogana. And fourth, the left fielder, number 6, Emily Alfie. Designated player, number 13, Maddie Moore. And sixth player, right field, number 21, Holland Weissner.
Coach, starting lineups are always so fun to hear what music they come out to and what's going on before they get really locked in to that national anthem, which is the greatest song ever written.
Are you singing it tonight?
I was thinking about it. If I sing along, please don't be mad at me. We're going to give you a break for just a second.
Josiah Worsley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Josiah Worsley with that rendition of the national anthem. Sounded great. Now it's time to play some softball. All right, Coach. How ready are you for this?
Can we just skip the warm-up pitches and just get this thing going?
Hey, step in the box. Here we go.
Great national anthem right there, too. Ready to get this thing rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Tried to count how many people were here during that. Lost track. And
Yeah,
I can't count. I don't know if I can count that high.
First row seats.
The problem is, everywhere you look, there's somebody else. Doesn't matter which way you turn your head.
Yep. And about 30 kids playing cup ball on the soccer field next to the softball field. Love it. I think they actually have full-on softballs throwing them at each other like dodgeball out there.
It's the game at the game.
Yeah, the game at the game. Half people are going to be watching that. Kids going to be coming over here in a minute with a knot on their head. They got hit by a softball. Not one that's fouled off, one that was thrown at each other during a dodgeball game. All right, Coach, here we go. Zaylee Brown in the circle for the Spartans. About to throw her first pitch of the series.
How about Zaylee Brown and how she's battled throughout the year? You know, we talked about it in that last broadcast last week about if she kind of hit a little bit of a rut for her standards back in the middle of April.
That's right.
But a big part of the reason why South Caldwell's still playing today is how she has completely locked it back in the circle and attacked the zone.
Absolutely. I made the comment last week at Alexander Central, maybe the best she's pitched since we've seen her pitch. She was absolutely dialed in.
Yeah. And she followed that up at West Forsyth coming in. When they got her the lead, she was throwing the ball as hard as she could and putting it wherever she wanted it.
All right, first pitch right here. Takes it for a strike on the outer half. No balls, one strike. Digging in, getting the signs. And the delivery. Misses a little bit further outside. Not a bad strategy to go outside. This young lady does a great job pulling it hard to the right side. She can also go with it. Just an overall great hitter. Dials it in right there. Hits that outer half again. One ball, two strikes.
Great job staying away through the first three pitches.
Yeah. You got to feel like she's throwing it exactly where she wanted to throw it. Goes high on that one. Try to get her to swing on that one. Stays away from it. She read that really well out of the hand.
Oh, yeah. I think everybody's used to seeing pitches out of Zaylee's hand come out going down. That one went up, the other way went up.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here. Top of the first inning. Leadoff hitter for Weddington. And the delivery. Strike 3, swinging. Great pitch by Brown. You got to feel like she was up there just feeling almost a little bit of the pressure right there, the way she swung at that pitch, because that's not normally what we've seen from her. Yeah. She's usually dialed in, hitting everything on the button. Great pitch by Brown.
Get her to 2 strikes there. Good job by Brown expanding the zone just a little bit.
First pitch, ball 1.
Comes out this side, throwing it away to the other side of the plate again.
Yeah. And from what we've seen from these South Caldwell pitchers, they're not going to stay away the entire night. It's almost like they look to get you thinking out there, and then they bust it in. And both pitchers have been able to command the inner half of the plate. And if you can pitch inside, you can win games.
Doesn't matter what age group you're playing at.
That's exactly right.
Throw it in, that's a big advantage.
Fouled off down the left side, past Weinbarger at third. It's 2 balls, 1 strike on the hitter.
Well, if you're a fielder on that left side of the field tonight, if that sun just absolutely beating down on you, it's got to be tough over there.
Blaring on you, and you have to fight the wind with it. Oh, base hit to left field. Coffee up with it, bringing it back into Bumgarner. So West Forsyth has a runner aboard with 1 out. I'm sorry, not West Forsyth, Weddington. Tell you what, if you haven't been their facility down there, top-notch facilities down there at Weddington. It's just a little plug-in for them, because we went down there yesterday and we're just blown away by how neatly kept it was, and just the field itself, beautiful.
It's no secret why they have had the success that they do with the resources that they give out down there.
Oh, absolutely.
And all the emphasis put on the softball program. You know that Weddington's been at the top of the 4A West for the last several years now, so great job over down there.
Ground ball to third, comes up, fires to 2, 1-2. Goes to first, a little bit late. Good job of Weinbarger. coming up with one and firing to second base. Yunt was there for the second out. Great job getting the lead runner.
It's one of those where you don't want to get caught in between on that hop, but there's almost no choice right there with the speed of the ball off the bat. It's a great job by Weinbarger at third, staying with that short hop and making the third a second. And there's nothing that Thomas would love more right here more than to give her.
Oh, line drive to first base, snagged by Bella Smith. Great job being ready for that for the third out of the inning.
Tried to help herself out. That's what we were getting to.
Yeah.
She'd love to do nothing more than help herself out. She hit it hard just right at somebody.
Yeah, she was trying to hit behind the runner there, went with it. Bella Smith just happened to be right in the line of that line drive. So after the first half complete, Weddington, I keep saying it, Weddington puts a 0 on the board. Great job by Zaylee Brown, keeping the ball down, getting that ground ball like we wanted. Had the big strikeout first.
South Caldwell has the confidence now that Zaylee Brown goes in the circle and puts her team back in the dugout, swing the bats with no runs on the board. So now they can just go out there and hopefully attack this pitcher here, Thomas, for Weddington. She's going to be in the zone. She's going to give you something to hit. She was on the other night, though. So
my goodness. Tuesday night, she came out firing like no other pitcher we've seen this year. Coach, when I tell you she was popping the mitt, it was echoing from the top of that hill we were sitting on to start with, and it was sounding like a cannon going off.
Yeah,
and struck out the first 5 out of 6 hitters, so she was throwing it.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Her rise ball is very good. Yeah. I think the curveball the other night was also just as good. And when you've got more than one pitch that you can get batters out with and command them and put them where you want to, that just makes it so much tougher if you're a hitter in that box to cover. If the pitcher's got a really good fastball, but that's all they got, you can sit on it, you can be ready to hit it. But if she's throwing the rise ball and that curveball again tonight, it's just going to make it that much tougher for the Spartan hitters.
You're exactly right. If they can lay off of that high pitch coming in there, they'll be fine tonight. But if they can get on top of that high pitch coming in, they'll be really fine tonight. Yeah. With that wind blowing out at 20 miles an hour.
It'll be interesting to see how that might affect the pitch calling here for Weddington as well.
Harrington coming out, taking that first pitch. Is usually unlike her. She comes out firing on all cylinders on that first pitch usually. Very patient on that first one. 1 ball, no strikes on Harrington, who had the big home run the other night. Ended up being a game winner. Fouls it straight back on the second pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the thing with Harrington. She comes out, she is a swinger. She doesn't get cheated. When she stays short to the ball, it comes off just as hard as if she's gotten everything on it. She's such a strong hitter. Third pitch, ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. You got to believe that they're not trying to give her anything at all across the plate. Takes it. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. See how she approaches this one. You got to think she's thinking, I got to hit something perfect right here. If it's perfect, I'm swinging. And takes it. 4. Ball 4. Leadoff walk for the Spartans. She's going to get a runner. It'll be Brooklyn Johnson, the courtesy runner for Harrington, first base.
Looks like they were staying away from her out there out of bat. And that's probably a good way to attack her here earlier, especially after the home run the other night. And we've seen at times where Harrington can be really aggressive in the box and puts a really good swing on it, just misses it. She didn't swing at any of those pitchers' pitches, and now they got the leadoff runner at first base.
That's right. And you got to think right here, maybe, early on, maybe bunting Woodward here. And we've seen her put bunts down before, and she's put some good ones down. And that'll bring up Bumgarner after that. She lets her take the first strike.
And we've also seen they're not afraid to let her put that bunt down after she gets that strike.
Exactly right.
She can handle the bat well and put it down.
So they're calling bunt defense right now. You heard him say it. So she could groove one right here thinking it's going to be a bunt. And we know this. Sydney Wilbur can hit the softball, buddy. Oh, there it is. Offers for it. High pitch, gets away from the catcher, moves Johnson up to second base. Now Spartans got a little bit to think about. Do they want to get her to 3, or do they want to let her swing away right here?
Looked like right there, maybe Coach Justice walking down the line. Just obviously we can't hear him, but it looks like he's saying, put a good swing on it, so maybe the bunt might be off right here.
It might be.
You figure, well, you got the job accomplished and she's still in the box, so might as well just let her go ahead and swing it.
Absolutely.
Nope.
Nope, she still offered at it, fouled it back. Now she has no choice. She's got to swing at this one. It's almost like she waited too late to throw that bunt out there. If your kids at home, if you're going to sacrifice bunt, your coach gives you a sacrifice. Hey, go ahead and get it around there early enough for where you can be comfortable when the ball comes in. When you're trying to do it the last second, kind of gets on you in a hurry. Takes strike 3. First out of the innings, a strikeout by Woodward. Thomas has to feel good about that series of pitches. So with one down, we'll bring up Sydney Bumgarner, who has had an amazing year at the plate and in the field. Seems like she's dialed in on every single pitch. Pops it foul up and out of play. She offered at the first pitch, fouled it back. Seems like she was on pretty good, though, Coach.
She did. I think you look at South Caldwell's offense this year, obviously setting the records for the most home runs in a season.
Yep.
And a big part of that is what Sydney Bumgarner has done with her. She's leading the team with 13 home runs. The power that she has come into this year really helped.
Takes ball low.
Really helped lengthen this lineup out, and then we have several weeks into the year when they put McCartney Harrington up at leadoff.
Yep.
Sydney Bumgarner's year allowing them to do that and put McCartney up there because behind her in the middle of the order you're going to have some good bats. Her power has just been fun to watch.
She gets one up, lifts one to center field. Johnson stays at second. Thought about tagging for a second, stayed at second. That'll bring up Emily Coffey with 2 outs. Just got under it just a little bit. Seemed like she was on it, just got under it.
A lot of that could be the late life from Thomas right there, getting it through the zone. Obviously, a lot of her pitches have that natural rise to it.
Yep.
And kind of like the bunt with Woodward, when it gets popped straight back, it looks good for the long time, and then it just goes up off the barrel.
That'll bring up Emily Coffey, fouling the first pitch off, just like Bumgarner did, to left side over here. No balls, 1 strike to Coffey. Oh, smokes one over the right fielder's head. That'll bring in Johnson. Coffey going for 2. Overthrow at second. And that'll be a double for Coffey with a great swing coming out of there. Sends one over the right fielder's head, 1 hop to fence. And the Spartans are on the board first. And that'll bring up Maddie Moore, a very dangerous hitter.
Pitch might have got a little bit too much more to the plate than Thomas wanted, and the right fielder, as soon as it was hit, she just absolutely froze, which that was hit well over her head regardless, and great swing by Coffey to get the first run of the game in.
Ball high to Moore. 1 ball, no strikes. You could tell on Tuesday Maddie Moore had a job to do in the circle and may not have been as dialed in as a hitter, but tonight her job is to hit the softball. So you got to think she's going to be just as dialed in hitting tonight as she was pitching on Tuesday. 2 balls, no strikes on Moore. So she's got to be thinking perfect pitch, something I can drive.
It's another one of those hitters that, dozen home runs on the year, just come in and absolutely swung the stick.
Lets another one go by. First strike on the outer half. 2 balls, 1 strike on Moore. Takes another one for strike 2 on the outer half. And we've seen that throughout these playoffs. They're pitching Moore away a lot, thinking that she's just going to be a pull hitter, but we've seen her go opposite field home runs several times this year.
And Weddington especially has seen that as well.
That's exactly right.
Back in April.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Third out of the inning, but after 1 complete, the Spartans get on the board first. 1-0 South Caldwell. Good job by Sal Caldwell putting the bat on the ball right there and making something happen.
Couldn't have scripted much of a better start for the Spartans. Get 3 quick outs and then end up in your dugout and score the run to put you ahead. So now they get to play with a lead, which some of them haven't done much through these playoffs.
That's exactly right. We'll see how
early in
Weddington
games
responds.
Yeah.
We'll see how they come out. I'd like to take this time again to thank our sponsor, Town of Sawmills. I see a lot of their guys represented here tonight. As a matter of fact, Town of Sawmills town manager Chase Weinbarger, his daughter starting third base for the Spartans tonight. Mallory Weinbarger, who we've seen her have some big hits in these playoffs and play some outstanding defense. So again, thank you, Town of Sawmills, Chase Weinbarger.
We might have some of those Timber Kings down there down the third base line as well.
You know what? They are, all of them down there, the whole team. See, if you haven't checked them out, they got an amazing logo, Timber King logo. All right, ready for our first hitter of the inning right here. Swing and a miss, outer half of the plate. That ball had a lot of downward movement on it. I wish you could see this, and you probably can from your camera angles, how much that ball moves down out of Brown's hand. There it was again, just diving. Starts at knees and just dives completely down on top of your feet.
It's almost about 10 or 15 feet from the plate. It has that parachute that just grabs it, just absolutely takes it straight down.
That's exactly right. Goes high that time. Taken all the way. Saw it really well out of the hand. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the hitter. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First out of the inning. Brown's locked in the circle. She's feeling that tonight.
We mentioned it earlier. We've kind of seen the past couple weeks where she's almost put it into another gear after her offense has given her a lead. And, this is a little bit different earlier in the game, but through the first hitter looks similar.
Right. One ball, no strikes to the hitter. Big swing at that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. It looked like she was all over that, and all of a sudden it's below her. Misses high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Speaking of good plays at shortstop, she made several the other night. She's an outstanding shortstop in her own right. Ground ball, shortstop. Bumgarner up with it, throws it over to Smith. Out number 2.
We almost had a little bit of miscommunication on the left side of the infield, but good job by Bumgarner coming through and just staying through it, making a good third at first.
That's it, and usually you tell your third baseman, if you can get it, go get it. And that one, like you said, she just kept coming through it, thinking, hey, if she doesn't get it, I've got it, and she did. Great play.
Got no shortage of great defense and great arms everywhere, especially on the left side of the infield tonight. Both of them for the Spartans and as well for Weddington. Can really make it happen with the glove.
1 ball, no strikes on the hitter. Ground ball, base hit to left field. Coffee up with it and into Bumgarner. And once again, Weddington put another runner on base with 2 outs.
Almost a carbon copy of that hit through the left side back in the first inning.
That's exactly what it was. All right, runner on first for Weddington. First pitch, down in the dirt. Good job by Harrington keeping it there. 1 ball, no strikes on the hitter. Oh, line drive to center field. Fielded out there. Base hit. First and second for Weddington.
It hit well. Almost seemed like, you know, if it was hit just a little bit harder, could have almost had to play a second with the force.
Yeah, exactly right. I think she thought about it out there too. Ground ball back to the pitcher for the third out of the inning. They leave two stranded. After 1.5 complete, South Caldwell 1, Weddington 0. Good job right there, keeping that ball down, getting it back to her.
A little scary. If she's not as tall as she is, that might just be right over her head,
exactly,
and then no man's land where it's a dangerous play.
That's a tough play for a shortstop to come across and make. Great job by Brown right there, stabbing it out of the air. On Tuesday, we did see a lot of these Weddington hitters go up the middle, swinging that way, and Maddie Moore made some outstanding plays in her own right in the circle, and they hit one, probably just a little bit too hard in that last inning that got that first runner on for them and went through the wickets right there of her. So you know they're going to be hitting it through the box or trying to hit it through the box about every time.
And credit, I think earlier this year we've seen sometimes where both either Zaylee Brown or Maddie Moore, there have been a couple plays that have been difficult, and maybe plays that they would tell you that they should make and they didn't, but they've really made those plays here as the year's going on.
Absolutely.
Big part of pitching is what happens after it leaves your hand. You got to be able to field your position and get off there and do whatever and make the plays.
You are exactly right. Wiesner's leading this inning off for us. And we saw her have some really good swings against Weddington here the last time in April. She had a home run and then what looked like probably had another one robbed. She hit one so hard at the observation deck in center field, the guy couldn't get out of the way in time.
Got about 10 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
The ball's on a string.
Takes first pitch for a strike. No balls, one strike.
Water.
Wiesner off the end of the bat towards second. Thrown out at first base for the first out of the inning. Looked like she had her a little bit off stride right there, Coach.
Yeah, we talked about it. Both of these pitchers, if you start guessing and you start trying to think with them, as soon as you start doing that, they can, in a hurry, just turn it and get you to where you get it off a weak part of the bat, off the end or off the handle, either one.
Yep. That'll bring up the pitcher, Zaylee Brown, an opportunity to help herself by getting on base right here. Tuesday night, she had the first hit for the Spartans. Takes first pitch for a strike. No balls, one strike on Brown. Pulls one down the right side, foul. You got to think if that's over the bag right there, first baseman was a little bit late getting to it. She might have had an opportunity for a double.
Almost had a funky hop off that first out too, where it
sure did.
Looked like it might have came back towards the base just a hair, but still ends up foul.
It's 2 strikes on Brown right here. Let's see how they pitch her on this third pitch. And they strike her out looking on the outer half. It's 2 quick outs for Thomas in the circle. That'll bring up number 19, Mallory Weinbarger, who's had probably the biggest hits of the whole series, or whole playoffs for South Caldwell to keep him alive.
We mentioned back at Alexander Central where it seemed like recently some of the big spots have been finding her, and it's good to see her be able to come through both at Alexander Central in that 6th inning, give them the go-ahead run, and then again last Friday night at West Forsyth with the bases loaded and 2 outs, drive one the other way to get the 3 runs in to give them the lead again.
That's right. She smoked that ball.
Yeah.
Fouls one off down the right side, foul, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Weinbarger. She and Sydney Bumgarner have had the biggest hits easily for these 2 teams, other than Harrington's home run the other night on Tuesday. Huge hits. Fouls another one off down the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Weinbarger. That left center field gap is really big. If she can get one there, she may be able to run for a while. Looks like they're going to go away as well with that one. Takes it, must a little bit far outside, and that's where she was set up. So
hit her spot. Great pitch and a 1-2 count. I think if she does swing that, I don't know that she's going to reach that one, but it kept tailing away. Good pitch.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mallory Weinbarger hitting. Takes it inside, strike 3 looking. Great pitch by Thomas to get her out on that one. So score after 2 complete. South Caldwell Spartans 1, Weddington 0.
Good job there by Thomas after she gives up the run in the bottom of the first, come back in the circle and just right in the middle of the South Caldwell order, just go right at them and make good pitches and get them off the end of the bats when they put it in play and then swinging through them.
Another 1-0 nail biter, quick game.
You might have just jinxed it with the quick game part. Once you start talking about it.
Hey,
but we'll see.
That
we'll
means
see.
It's going to be about 7-5 by the time this thing's over.
And we've seen these bats, these offenses can turn it on in a hurry too.
Yes, they can. And here's a very dangerous hitter, leadoff hitter for Weddington right here. I tell you what, she could flat out swing the stick, buddy.
You know, Weddington would have loved to have cashed in right there in the last inning when they had 2 runners on, but being able to start this top of the third with the top of the order and their best hitters in the box against Brown Cedar for a second time tonight, they'll take that as well.
Swing and miss on first pitch. No balls, 1 strike. Takes another strike on the outer half. 0-2. You got to be thinking anything close right here. She's going to be swinging either way. You got to do your best to keep this one away because up and out right there. She hit the spot. That's exactly where Harrington wanted it. What are you thinking, Coach, right here?
Might go back to that drop ball here.
Yep. And it did. Just missed on the outer half. It's pretty close. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They got her out on a changeup on Tuesday. They see if they might go back to one right here to get her to roll over on one. Nope. Fastball on the outer half. That's almost a pitch you don't want to give up too early in the game so they can sit on it, that changeup. So they're probably going to wait a while before they start throwing that to see if they can get these hitters to roll over on some. Or fouled off the right side, almost took the first base coach's foot off.
It's 2 in a row right at him.
Yeah. He's like, come on now.
You look in the South Caldwell dugout and ask for a glove.
That's exactly right. I think he's asking him for a helmet with a face mask on it right now.
He might just end up standing behind the fence.
Got her swinging out front. Good pitch.
Way to fight off a pitcher's pitch right there.
That's right. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Nice changeup. Great pitch right there by Brown. Great pitch call.
It's so tough to lay off a pitch like that, especially if you fouled off 3 or 4 in a row and you're almost in that swing mode and it looks so good for so long and then just hits that wall.
Exactly right. That thing just had a parachute on the back of it. Whew. Strike right down the middle right there. No balls, 1 strike. Ground ball to Bumgarner at shortstop, up with it and across to Smith for second out. Good play right there coming through softball on a quick runner.
You just see such a calm sense out there at shortstop by Bumgarner. Just nothing phases her. No bounce, no hop's going to get to her that time. Maybe the way she caught that one, it looked like it might have kicked to the to her arm side just a little bit, but she just gave with it and made the play and fired it across.
Lead off change up right there. First pitch change. No balls, 1 strike. That's a good opening pitch right there from Brown. Coming back with a drop ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
5 months.
That's the Mississippi pitch. That's the Mississippi pitch.
Look at my dog. Got a bow tie.
Coming out swinging. Fouls it off for strike 2.
That's not what I thought.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the hitter.
Hey, Faith is here, so she's exempt. I don't know where she's at.
I haven't seen her. Tell her Tommy she get her free sausage.
You said she was exempt from her exam.
Let me get
Just misses low and away. Evens up the count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the hitter. You got to think she'll throw something across the zone, breaking down to get that ground ball. Just misses low. Full count.
My bathroom. It smells good.
Down the right side, base hit the left, might be 2, going 3, and she's in there with a triple. Shewa had no intentions of slowing down whatsoever.
Very aggressive aggressive base running right there.
Yeah.
Almost to when Bumgarner turned around, and almost like it shocked her a little bit that she was going to third. You know, obviously you never want to make that last out at third base, but her being at third base here with 2 outs opens up a lot more that could happen here.
That's exactly
And,
right.
you know, we've seen Brown, there's been a lot of pitches in the dirt, good pitches, but all it would take now would be one of those just to get away a little bit, and you see with the aggressiveness that they'd be taking advantage.
First offering is low. 1 ball, no strikes on Thomas, the pitcher. Runner at third base for Weddington. Grounded to the right side. Smith going over, beating Thomas to the base for the 3rd out. Good pitch, good play right there and getting back. So, a little scare right there. You could tell Bumgarner went out and could not hear. She even pointed to her ears like, I couldn't hear what you were saying. So, here's what you tell. Here's what I tell anybody. If a ball is hit down either line, you can almost expect a double. So you better go lining up 3. And the first baseman better be trailing the runner. In that aspect, Bumgarner was thinking, hey, I'm cutting it off at 2 because she's not going to go 2. She never slowed down.
No.
She just kept
She
going.
never broke stride one time. So obviously, too, if you're South Caldwell, you put that in your memory bank. Okay, if they get on base, they're going to be very aggressive.
Yeah, that's exactly
and maybe
right.
gives you a little bit of insight. They're playing this game with, they have everything to lose, but they're almost playing that play like almost play like you got nothing to lose. Just
exactly right.
Going right in front of their face and taking that extra base if you can. And didn't work out for Weddington right there, but you know that as this game goes on, they're going to keep doing that. But you're up to 10 innings now in this series, and Weddington's bats haven't produced a run.
That's exactly right.
Part of you almost feels like it's just waiting on one of those runs to come across.
Yeah.
But just fantastic job by the Spartan pitchers through the first 10 innings of this series.
Yep. Good job avoiding the inning. And then we know exactly what inning we're talking about. All right. 9-hitter McKenna Yunt up for the Spartans right here. And here's the thing with McKenna Yunt as a hitter. If she gets locked in, it's really tough to get her out. So you're hoping right here, if you're a Spartan fan and you're in that dugout, that she gets a hit right here, because if she does, you might as well forget trying to get her out the rest of the series. Comes out swinging. Flares 1-0. Foul ball on the left side. No balls, 2 strikes on Yunt. And you got to figure they're going away, and she's missed one, lazied one over there. They're probably going to stay away right here is what you'd figure. Yunt grounds 1 to second, up and over for the 1st out.
Good job pitching.
Yeah.
We talking about one stay away, and then that ball is probably a ball or two in, but too close to take with the 2 strikes, and gets it off the handle just right to the second baseman.
That'll bring up Harrington, the hitter that every pitcher wants to stay away from. She's never seen a pitch she really didn't like, so swinging at the first one. Straight back. She's all over it, just fouled it straight back. You see Harrington in the front of the box against Thomas trying to take that anything that rises away.
It's such a fine line with being up there and taking it before the change in direction before it gets going up, but with some velocity, that makes it tough, but she definitely can handle it in there.
Harrington fouls it straight back off of the catcher, or off of the umpire, I should say. Got a little bit of catcher's mitt, but not much of it. Squared the umpire in the shoulder, it looked like. You got to know that hurts. One ball, 2 strikes on Harrington. Fly ball to right field. They're coming in on it, and great play by the center fielder, taking that one away.
She almost looked like she was coming in from another area.
Yeah, she was.
The last second.
Right fielder was playing on the track. Center fielder just beat her to the ball. Great play out there. That's for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Sydney Woodward. Woodward takes first pitch for a ball high. Fouls the second pitch straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike on Woodward. Thomas making no changes. She's staying with what's been working for her. Expect no different the rest of the game, really. Change up. Takes it for a strike.
I think that fooled Woodward in more ways than one right there. You're not really expecting the changeup to be that high coming in.
Yep.
You see it up, you might expect that one just keep rising above the zone, but good change of speed.
Comes back with the fastball away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Sydney Woodward hitting for South Caldwell. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That'll end the inning. After 3 complete, South Caldwell 1, Weddington 0.
After that first inning where South Caldwell scored that lone run that they've got, Thomas is back in the circle with a lot of confidence.
Yes, she is.
She threw that one right there and got the strikeout and kind of jumping around, feeling really good about where she's at after giving up that early run. Which for Weddington, that's exactly what you want to see. Your pitcher not phased by giving up the run early and giving her offense a chance to fight and battle right here as we get in the middle innings.
That's exactly right. And you still have to feel good if you're South coming in with, 3, 4, 5 up with a chance to score another one.
Yep.
Zaylee Brown doing her thing out there, keeping the ball low, getting ground balls. So
if Brown were to get in trouble a little bit, how quick do you think, or how long do you think the leash will be on her? Obviously, we've talked about the difference with, playing. South Caldwell can play this with a little bit different sense of urgency than Weddington.
Yeah, a little bit. I think they don't wait long once they push one across the mound meeting. If they push another across, you got to think that Maddie Moore will be right back in there.
Yeah.
Oh, Alfers at the bunt right there for strike 1. Tried to sneak one in there. Weinberger was played in, almost like they were expecting it anyway. That sun is brutal on the left side. Swing and a miss on the outer half.
We've probably got about another inning of that sun for those fielders on that left side, but you know they're ready to see that thing go down.
Just misses out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3, swinging. That ball's just diving away hard coming out of that left hand of Zaylee Brown. She's done an outstanding job starting that thing in the middle and going all the way down to the ground with it.
She's got that late bite, late movement. That,
yes.
I mean, I know we've talked about it, but it's just almost just like it's disappearing. You know, it's there, and then it's not, and you're ready to fire that swing off. It is not where you thought it was when the swing starts.
You're exactly right. Coming out of the gates, throwing one right down the middle. No balls, 1 strike on the shortstop. Ground ball to Bumgarner at shortstop, coming up with it across to Smith for second out of the inning. Two outs right here for Weddington. 1 out left in the inning. Try to get something going right here. Fouled off to the left side. No balls, 1 strike. Ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs on the hitter.
We've seen Weddington be able to pounce with 2 outs and to get some hits and some runners in the first and the second.
Takes another ball low. Looks like it was about borderline. Right on the cusp. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, they've tried to get it going with 2 outs a couple times here. Swing and a miss. Even up the count at 2. 2's all the way across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 2 at bat.
You just need 2 runners on. Deuces would definitely be wild.
Deuces would be crazy. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for the 3rd out of the inning. After 3.5, South Caldwell 1, Weddington 0. Here in this round 5, best 2 out of 3 series for the West. Coach, so far we got a pitcher's duel again.
Oh, absolutely. Fun to watch. You know, we talked as Thomas came off out of the circle last inning with her confidence after giving up that early run, but you know, Brown just getting in there and trusting her defense when it's put in play, but also you look up and she's got 5 strikeouts just like Thomas.
Yeah.
And we've seen Brown pitch more to that contact throughout the year, but that ball that we just talked about last inning, just absolutely diving and getting out of the zone and not being where it is when the swing starts.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And both pitchers completely different. Yeah, Thomas throwing the rise, Brown throwing the drop. Like you said, she usually is going to contact all night long. But
we've seen
Weddington hitters just can't seem to figure it out yet.
Yeah, we've seen Zaylee Brown this year throw complete games with shutouts, really with only 2 or 3 strikeouts, and being able to do it that way with a lot of the weak contact. But got the strikeout pitch working a little bit more tonight too. Through 12 outs, having 5 strikeouts, and Thomas the same way, 5 strikeouts through the 9 outs that she's gotten.
All right, just like we were talking about when the inning ended for the Spartans, we had 3-4-5 up, and it's not a bad part of the lineup to have up right here with Sydney Bumgarner leading this thing off. Energy in the stadium's kind of cranked up just a little bit too. They were kind of stagnant. Now they're starting to try to get these girls excited about being here. Well, it takes first pitch for a ball.
I think too, obviously, is South Caldwell, as they get more outs. They got 9 outs to go in this one.
Yep.
It's almost like some of these you can start to feel it just a little bit and let yourself start to think about what might be next. But the players on the field, they're focused on the task at hand.
Bumgarner smokes one, foul down the left side, now to play. Good swing on an inside pitch right there by Bumgarner. Just couldn't keep it fair. Evens up the count at 1. Bumgarner also in front of the box right here, trying to get that rise before it gets too high. Oh, great swing by Bumgarner. Straightaway center field line drive for the first out of the inning.
Great pitch, had her fooled just a little bit, but then a great job adjusting to it by Bumgarner and putting a barrel on it. Just hit it right at the center fielder, and slide over to the left center field gap just a hair.
Yep. That brings up Emily Coffey, who had a big hit back in the first over the right fielder's head. Right fielder's not taking any chances this time. She's playing on the edge of the dirt of the warning track.
If it's over her head, it's probably going to be out of here.
That's exactly right. With that wind blowing that way, they're all playing out there.
It might have died down just a hair since first pitch, but we're still going straight out.
9 miles per hour now instead of 20. But the flag's still up in the air. Coffey taking ball 2 on the outer half.
First pitch, the entire flagpole was moving in the wind. So now at least it's still.
All right, you got to be thinking she's hoping for something absolutely perfect. She can drive down the right field line. That's a big line she can get it to down there. Takes first pitch strike. First strike of the at-bat on the outer half. 2 balls, 1 strike on Emily Coffey. 1 out for the Spartans. Fouls one off the right side. That hit something hard right down there.
Might have just been the chalk line.
It could have been. Somebody must have stopped there for a brief second while putting that chalk down. Two balls, 2 strikes. Coffey anticipating strike right here. She's swinging at it if it is. Oh, gets one off the ground. Look at that. That ball might have been an inch off the ground when she hit it. Good pitch, first of all. Change up, low. Coffey goes out on the front foot, gets it, keeps her hands back, drives through the pitch.
We haven't seen many of those in that location where it's been down, but great pitch with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
It's one of those, if you're Coffey, it's kind of just sign, she might just be locked in tonight.
That's it.
And if you're the pitcher, you're just, well, okay, here we go.
Maddie Moore, the hitter now for the Spartans, takes first pitch ball. Spartans would really like to see her get locked in right here. Find something she can drive hard somewhere. Takes a strike in the outer half. I feel like they've just consistently pitched her on that outer half. She's having trouble adjusting to it out there. Leaves that one up high. 2 balls, 1 strike on Moore. You know Thomas is not going to give in right here, but she has to throw something so she doesn't fall so far behind. So it's got to be close enough maybe to get Moore to try to roll over on something or hit a soft pop-up somewhere.
Like Coach Brett Parham down there tying his shoe.
Got a cleat malfunction. It's just another jobs coaches do. Tie shoes.
Other duties is assigned.
Takes a strike on the outer half. I don't think Moore liked that one too much. Takes a little more aggressive stance at the plate this time. And offers at it, over shortstop's head, and it's dropped. It drops. Hits shortstop glove, falls out of it in the triangle of death out there in left center field. Good job by Moore staying alive in the at-bat and putting the ball in play. And that was one where I think the sun might have
I think it might have, yeah. The way she was going back on that one and kind of getting turned around a couple times, that Suns is definitely beating it. It's like that's the Suns' last stand just a little bit. It's going to go down here in a few minutes, but just look at a shortstop right now. She's got the glove right above her eyes.
That brings up Holland Wiesner. Offers ball to right side, gets it lead out at second base. No throw to first. First and third for the Spartans with 2 outs. Bring up Zaylee Brown, who had the first hit of the game the other night at Weddington.
Pitchers love to help themselves, and she'd love to double her lead at least right here.
Lets the first one go by. Ball 1.
See if the Spartans might try to start Wiesner over there at first base, maybe try to put some kind of play on to push the envelope just a little bit.
Takes ball too low. Now you almost have to wait a pitch to do that since it's 2 balls. If that was 1-1, it might be a good idea again. But you were right. Thought we might see it there and didn't.
Wiesner being aggressive down there, you know.
Takes the first strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs on Zaylee Brown, the hitter for the Spartans right now. Now you definitely got to think about moving them. Second base is playing way deep, shortstop's deep, so might not be a bad idea to get Wiesner moving, just like you said. Called strike 2 on Brown. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Spartans clinging to a 1-run lead with a chance to push another one across with a base hit right here. Brown pops it up to the infield. First baseman calling for it, and she catches. Ooh, almost made that a little bit interesting. Called it right on top of the pitching rubber.
Great job taking charge over there. You never really want your pitcher having to make that kind of play. Great job taking charge, but yeah, it almost popped out at the last second.
Yes, it did. That would have been a fortunate bounce for the Spartans.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate for Weddington. Well, after 4 complete, Spartans 1, Weddington 0. Coach, what can we do to get it going here? And what can Weddington do to get it going? They have to,
you know, it's a lot easier said than done, but laying off that ball that goes out of the zone low, easy for us to say up here with the headsets on, but yeah, that's been the big kryptonite really for them as they've gone through here, and so we'll see how Brown continues to attack them right here. 8, 9, and 1 due up for Weddington. You know, they'd love to get at least one of those runners on for the top of the order. And, you know, we talked about how Lamantia at the leadoff spot for Weddington is one of their better hitters.
Yeah.
You know, she's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but, you know, there's still nobody that they would want up than her in a big spot.
that's exactly right.
And this one can change with one swing of the bat. So,
well, the second baseman, Shipley, leading off for Weddington right here. Top of the 5th inning. Top of the 5th inning down at Weddington the other nights where Harrington got lightning in a bottle with a 1 swing, 1 run. Fly ball to right field. Wiesner corrals it for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. Making a game of it. That'll bring up third baseman Arthur right here for Weddington. Takes first pitch, ball. Just misses away. 1 ball, no strikes. Misses low. 2 balls, no strikes.
feels like a big pitch right here.
Yes, it does.
You don't want to go to 3-0 to a number 9 hitter. Still dangerous, but you don't want to get to that part.
Swinging, ground ball to third base. Mishandled by Weinbarger, picks it up, rockets it across. Great recovery right there by Weinbarger. No panic, gets it up, throws an absolute missile to first base for the second out of the inning.
Just a strike right across the diamond. Ball didn't kick too far away. Take the step, get the ball, throw it over there, and still beat the runner by about a half step or step. That's about it.
That'll bring up the ever dangerous Lamontia. Looking to go slap here, coming out of there. It's the first time we've seen that from her tonight. So she's taking a little bit different approach this at bat. Back in the box, you got to believe she'll do it again if she's that far back. Sure enough, and smokes one. Good approach by her. Tried something different and it worked out for her.
That's what the game's about, and
That's
adjustments.
Exactly right, making the adjustments.
2 strikeouts in your first 2 at bats, not too pleased with where you're at. Going up and slapping something we haven't seen tonight from her. Just serving it right out past the outstretched glove of Bumgarner.
Almost made a great play on that, diving to her right side.
That ball's coming off the bat too, almost like a curveball, just continuing to slice that way towards the line. Good effort though.
That'll bring up the left fielder with 2 outs, 1 ball, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes.
We've seen Brown working from behind here this inning. Weddington would love to get themselves into those hitters counts. That's one thing, we talked about trying to change the fortune a little bit. Easier to do that when you're as a hitter working ahead instead of trying to fight back, which they were earlier.
Brown starting to miss a lot low here. 3 balls, no strikes. Harrington calls timeout, goes out, talk to Brown. Saying, what do you think she's saying to her right now?
Hey, just get back in the zone, trust your defense, trust what got you here to the 5th inning with no runs up there. Just take a deep breath.
That's exactly right. Calm down a little bit, we're fine. 4 straight balls by Zaylee Brown.
The worst thing you want to do with a lead is be putting a runner on, but
that's exactly right.
We'll see. It's almost in a way here. If the number 3 hole hitter for the Warriors, if the pitcher's in a spot where she's not been throwing strikes, and I know it's just 4 balls in a row, but you can almost in a way maybe be ready to ambush one if she tries to get it right over the plate.
Yep. Goes right at her. Base hit to left. Coffey coming up with it, throwing home. Cut off by Weinbarger, and Weddington has tied the game at 1.
Yeah, that's it. Good job being in the box, ready to hit. You got one of your better hitters up, and you trust, as a coach, you trust one of your better hitters if they get a ball over the plate that she's going to be able to do something with it. And right there she did. Zaylee Brown trying to get ahead, not work from behind. Throws one right across the plate.
That'll bring up Thomas with a chance to help herself out. Ground ball straight back to Brown. Good job getting out of it. Well, Weddington's managed to tie up the game here in the top of the 5th inning.
Another little rally with 2 outs right there. They've
right.
put several things together with 2 outs, and that time they're able to cash in on a run with the top of the order.
That's exactly right. We credit that to the leadoff hitter Lamantia getting out there and trying something different, making an adjustment, going to the slap mode and getting one past the diving Bumgarner there and starting something. Got them a little fired up in that Weddington dugout. And there's no shortage of energy coming from that dugout at any time. We've heard them go crazy. So that really got them going right there.
And that right there, just leaving the dugout, coming back out here for the bottom of the 5th. Looks like they had a little extra pep in the step, a little confidence. They trust their pitcher here to put them right back in the dugout after getting a couple hits and be ready to try to push a go-ahead run across if they can get back in there 1-1.
Yeah, that gives them a little shot of confidence right there for sure. You never want to get a bad team confidence, but you definitely don't want to give a really good team confidence.
Yeah.
Once they've kind of lost it, because dangerous things can happen when that happens. So right now, they've got the momentum.
I expect Thomas to get in that circle and get her team right back in there.
Absolutely.
She makes the early out in that at bat right there in the top of the 5th. But if you're South Caldwell, you're getting into the box ready to hit because she's going to come right at you.
That's right. Well, to bring up Mallory Weinbarger with no outs, leading off for the Spartans here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Fouling the first pitch off the right side, out onto the soccer field, practice football field, cup ball field, cheerleading field, whatever's going on over there right now.
We've got cheerleading going on right now, yeah.
Doing stunts and everything over there.
It's like an intramural field right now.
No balls, 1 strike. Weinbarger, good swing. And the center fielder runs it down in a right center gap. Not a bad swing by Weinbarger there, getting on it and trying to drive one the other way.
Well, she's covered a lot of ground out there in center field too. She's getting, working both gaps. We've seen her go to that glove side towards right center field gap a couple times now, fighting the sun, fighting everything in her way, but making plays on some balls that she's really had to run down.
McKenna Yunt takes first pitch strike on the outer half, and you can tell right now Thomas's demeanor has changed. She's out there really ready to go, getting after it, walking around like, hey, get back in there, I'm ready to throw this pitch. Fouled off the left side by McKenna Yunt. No balls, 2 strikes.
Don't get to bring all the foul balls over the first base line. Foul ball over the first base line. You look at it for your blue ball.
No balls, 2 strikes on McKenna Yunt. 1 out. The pitch grounds it to the left side. Shortstop up with it and across. Got her for the 2nd out.
Good stretch at the last second too.
Yeah, it was. She kept her foot on the base. You could tell Coach Brett Parham down there was looking for it the whole time, but he kept it on there. Or she kept it on there, I should say.
Picks up the catcher number 4, McCartney Harrington.
That'll bring up McCartney Harrington. Takes first pitch. Ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Harrington smokes one in the left center gap. Looks like it might be 2. They're up with it. Sure enough, stand-up double for Harrington. Good swing on it right there.
Looked like they were trying to continue the same way they had attacked her the first 2 at-bats, staying away, and that one a little bit off the plate maybe and off the end of the bat, but McCartney Harrington's strong enough to put it out there into the gap and get them a runner at second base with 2 outs.
Courtesy runner for the Spartans, Brooklyn Johnson. Now they're hoping right here that Sydney Woodward can connect with something to get Johnson in. Takes first pitch high. One ball, no strikes on Sydney Woodward. 2 outs for the Spartans. Woodward swinging, just a little bit behind it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That seemed like it might have had a little bit of extra gas behind it.
I believe you were correct.
Threw that one pretty good.
Yes, she did. Definitely a lot faster than Woodward was expecting there. Swings at a high one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out left for the Spartans in the inning. Woodward looking at a chance to extend the inning with a walk or a base hit right here. And she strikes her out for the 3rd out. Weddington's got all the momentum, it seems like now, Coach. And just coming in, you're hoping that you can do anything to disrupt that momentum right here.
She,
you know how tough that can be.
Continue to stay away again, especially that whole at bat to Woodward. It's almost like she's, reaching out and just putting it in the catcher's mitt, whether it's the rise or just the fastball straight through the zone. The good pitches there to buckle down with the runner in scoring position to keep it right at 1-1 and get her offense back in the dugout. getting everything we asked for, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Hey, pitchers duel again, 1-1 game. After the last time we saw them play here on this field, it ended up being 10-8.
Yeah.
So
the runs were coming in bunches.
Yes, they were.
Which, you know, I don't know if we mentioned that one earlier. That was the second game of the day for both of those teams, so that probably played a little bit of a factor. And it was a warm Saturday afternoon, and you know, different little bit of an environment, but definitely two different types of games here than we had in the middle of April.
Yes.
Or at the end of April. But regardless, as a fan of softball, either of these two teams is exactly what you want.
That'll bring in number 16, Reese Lindsay. All right, first pitch from Brown. Just misses away. 1 ball, no strike. Misses low. Spartans have got Maddie Moore up over there in the bullpen, getting her ready. Seeing if they give a little motivation to Brown right here. Just keep getting outs. Looked like what seemed to be a good pitch. Called a ball. Must have been low. 3 balls, no strikes.
I'll tell you this, for a man behind the plate there, I feel like we're in the 6th inning. That was one of the first times you've heard anybody in the stands get on to him. He's done a great job.
In there for the first strike of the at-bat. 3 balls, 1 strike. And walks the leadoff hitter. Coach, I know we've said it 100 times. Usually, that leadoff hitter walks 78% of the time they score.
I feel like 78 might be a little conservative.
So we're hoping right now we can see something different, and you got to believe right now that Spartans are hoping for a double play ball right here. That's 5 straight balls. Actually, last 5 out of 6 pitches have been balls from Zaylee Brown. A little too far down on each of those. She's going to make an adjustment right here. Start it just a little bit higher, make it get to the bottom of that strike zone, and she did. Ground ball, just like we wanted. 1-2, and a double play ball. Great turn. Started with a line barger over to Yunt, and she got it out of there as quick as she got it, Coach.
All the way around the horn. Starts with a good throw from line barger over to Yunt, and then Yunt with quick hands, a quick turn. You know, that's hard to come through the base on something like that. You got to be so quick. So that's all just arm strength right there by Yunt to get it over there to first base. And Bella Smith reaching out, snagging that one.
Spartans were hoping for a double play, and they got the double play. And you can tell with that pitch right there that gave Zaylee Brown some life. She's like, I tell you what, here we go. Let's get back in here because we're scoring. Nice changeup. Wow. Crowd wanted that one too, and it looked like an outstanding pitch. Called a ball. I think it even fooled him. 1 ball, 1 strike on the hitter. Misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gets back and swing and a miss right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
One of those parachute balls again.
Yep.
Not in the dirt that time, up over the plate, but just not where she thought it was going to be when she starts to swing.
Got her with a swing. Oh.
Foul tip.
Foul tip back into Harrington. Looked like for a second there she completely missed it.
Triple up or go something else here.
Which I feel like you just go with that drop ball in the outer half right here. And she did. Got her to swing out in front, fouled it off her foot. That's exactly the pitch she went with. And didn't get the complete result, but it didn't get a good swing on it either. Throws one inside, gets her to foul it off again, back behind her. I think that one went between her feet.
It's hard to do.
Yeah. It's almost like she was like, oh, God. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nice changeup. Ooh, got everybody running off the field. Then they had to go back to their spots. Wow.
Just a hair outside, but not much.
Yeah. Full count. Strike 3 looking. Great pitch by Zaylee Brown right there to come back. Wow, Spartans got a little life off that double play.
Yeah, impressive by Brown. We mentioned it back in the 5th when Weddington pushed across that run. She's had to battle back. She started with a couple 2-ball counts and having to kind of climb the mountain to get over it against these hitters one at a time. And to start so many hitters in 2-ball counts and only allow 1 run, that's impressive.
Yes, it is.
Way to just continue to fight through it, as maybe her location might be just off as we go to the later part of this game, but the sign of a great pitcher, being able to get it done when maybe your stuff starts to leave you just a little bit from what it was earlier in the game.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, Spartans are in good shape with the lineup coming up right here. We got Bumgarner leading us off in this inning, 3 hitter. Emily Coffey right behind her. 2 hitters that have been consistently getting on base for the Spartans. And you're hoping you see that again right here if you're a Spartan fan.
Yep.
If you're a Weddington fan, you're hoping, please, let's get these girls right here, the top 2 right here out.
Especially Coffey, and Thomas has to feel like a little bit through the 2 at-bats to Coffey tonight. She hits the ball extremely hard to right field, score the run, and then Coffey hit one of her pitches with 2 strikes, just kind of served it out in the center field. So this really important. Obviously, the leadoff hitter is always important, especially in a tie game here in the bottom of the 6th.
Absolutely. Well, bottom 6th right here, 1-1 game. Sydney Bumgarner leading off for the Spartans. You got to believe there's going to be a lot of life in this stadium right now. They're starting to get up a little bit. Dugout's up and screaming now, making a little noise over there. Bumgarner takes first pitch low for ball 1. Catcher's pitch comm wires getting hung up in her cleat. She's stuffing it back down in her belt. 1-0 to Bumgarner. Swinging, pop fly to left field, short, and she's in to grab it for the first out of the inning. Feel like that ball got in on Bumgarner just a little bit, and she didn't get anything on it.
Just enough to miss the barrel and miss the fat part of the bat.
Now bring up Emily Coffey, who has 2 hits tonight. We'll see if she can add a 3rd one to her resume here. Pitch outside for ball 1. Takes ball 2 on the outer. Oh, called strike. That looked a little bit out and up. He called it a strike anyway. Okay. Fooled me there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coffey flares one down the right side, or left side foul. The left fielder was playing 2 steps off of the left field line, so she didn't go but about 3 steps, and she almost called it 6 feet over the fence.
If it wasn't illegal to start there, she might be starting on the tarp.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Coffey. Fouls one straight back here behind us. And Michael Pritchard trying to make a play on it back here, blocking it up. One ball, 2 strikes on Coffey. Seems to be, takes a ball on the outer half. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out for the Spartans here. Got Maddie Moore waiting on deck. Emily Coffey in the box with a 2-2 count. Coffey fouls one straight back. Shortened the swing up a little bit that time, just trying to smack one out into the grass. And the pitch to Coffey. Grounds at second base and up with it and over to first for the second out. Went a little bit out on her that time. She reached out there and smacked it to second, rolled over on it. That'll bring up Maddie Moore. Offensively, we haven't seen a lot from Moore in this series so far. So you got to feel like at any time she's going to bust loose with a big hit.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts the other night at Weddington, and then another one tonight.
Takes a change up low. Catcher for Weddington didn't like that. Turned around and gave the umpire a little head shake.
Like you said, even with those several strikeouts, Moore can turn it around in one swing.
Takes another. All right, takes a strike on the outer half. 1 ball, 1 strike. No head shake from the catcher that time.
No.
Moore fouls one straight back. Nice grab over here with a Ken Knight. Ken Knight over there with a popcorn bag in his hand. Appreciate you, Ken. Takes a ball high. Evens up the count at 2. Town of Sawmill says if Maddie Moore hits one and hits a tree, that when that tree does die later on, they will come down and cut it for free. Takes a ball in the outer half. Full count. We hadn't seen many of those from Thomas tonight. So Moore's down to hit the strike. You got 1 pitch right here. Hit the strike. If you don't have it, let Holland Wiesner have a chance to hit. Swinging. Fly ball to center field and 3rd out of the inning. Not really a good swing in that at all. Just kind of waved at it. Trying to stay alive.
What do we say?
Right.
Every time we're up here, it's a close game, right?
It's a close game every time. I don't really like close games like that. I like, however, it is great if you are a fan of the game. But if you're a fan of the game, you like those offensive onslaughts as well from both teams.
Yeah.
Well, after 6 complete, it's knotted up at 1. So you got to be hoping right here, if you're a Spartans fan, we get them out. Nothing hurt. And we go in and try to push one across to win this thing in the bottom of the 7th. Weddington, you're hoping that doesn't happen. You're hoping you get one, and you have to make the Spartans play catch up.
Yeah, they're at the same spot of the order, too, where they had their rally in the 5th inning, 8, 9, and 1. So just same thing.
Up second baseman Shipley.
Same thing applies here. Weddington wants to get a runner or 2 on for the top of the order when they come around.
First pitch swinging. Bumgarner coming through it at short. Up with it and over to Smith for the 1st out of the inning.
First base coach tried his best to give his influence, but looks like she just got her. His foot's on its way down to the bag.
Just got her.
If that ball's hit just a mile an hour softer off that bat, probably a different outcome over there.
Gonna bring up the 3rd baseman. Takes first pitch strike. Brown looks a little different this inning already.
Yep. Getting ahead early.
Just attacking the zone. There it was again. Fouled straight back. She's ahead 0-2. Just misses.
Great spot with 2 strikes.
Yes, just misses that outer half right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the hitter. 1 out. Ground ball past the diving Bumgarner for a base hit into left field. Got a runner aboard for the leadoff hitter, Lamancia, who changed her approach completely the last time and went to be a slap hitter.
Gonna get a pinch runner here at first base. Be interested to see if she goes back to the earlier approach or if she stays with the one trying to slap it that other way. Probably expect her to still continue to slap it, I would say.
She felt like she was on the ball a little better with that approach than she was first few approaches of the series.
Sometimes that's all it takes, just something a little different, different look for yourself in the box. And you sometimes feel like that slap, you're more almost guiding it, keeping an eye on it as it goes to the barrel.
Well, she's in the back of the box. She's going for it again. You probably might see a bunt right here. Pitch down. Good block by Harrington to keep it there.
Yeah. Good job. If that squirts away a little bit, you know that pinch runner is going to be taking that base.
1 ball, no strikes on the hitter. Foul ball down the right side.
Just foul.
One ball, 1 strike on the hitter right here. Now, if you're Smith, do you move step to your left since you know she can go that way, and went for the bunt. You got to believe if Harrington throws the ball right there and hits the batter, she's so far down the line, it's obstruction.
Yeah, she's way out there.
She almost threw that ball, but didn't because of the hitter going down the line. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the hitter. 1 out here. And base hit again, going with the slap approach. She's, you got to think that if this series gets extended, she won't go back to the other way of hitting.
No, probably not. That's, we talk just like a pitcher, reaching out, just putting it wherever she wants to at the plate.
Yep.
There's no defense for that. It's just you slap that one right there and that right on the line, and I don't care where you're playing. Nobody's going to get to that one.
That's exactly right.
She passes the bat to the next hitter, and here we go.
If you're the Spartans here, you got to hope for another double play or a strikeout. Nothing to give her a chance, really. Offers at the bunt. Does not get it down. Called strike. She made an attempt. Spartans were moving. They had it figured out. Shows bunt again. Pulls it back this time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bunts again, straight back to Brown. Get the out at first base. That's 2nd out of the inning.
Great play. Lefty Brown having to spin all the way around right there and almost hit a moving target with McKinney Young going across the first base.
That's
tough play to defend.
Hey, throw it straight across the base. She'll be there.
Yep. There's so much to think about with in all these situations with if you're on the infield, so many different places you could go when the ball's hit. Big spot here though for the Warriors.
You got to feel like base hit right here will score 2. So Spartans are hoping for lazy pop fly somewhere or ground ball to Young at second.
Good speed out there at second base.
Yeah.
Definitely going on the crack of the bat. Would probably score.
Base hit, or nope, Ball to Bumgarner at short. Throws it for the third out of the inning. Big pitch by Brown. Big play by Bumgarner. Great stretch by Smith.
A little bit of a low throw, but good job by Smith staying with that one and going down there to get it.
And the Spartans avoid the big inning right there from Weddington. That'll give them a little excitement coming in. This whole place needs to get excited real quick if we want to go play in that state championship series tonight instead of having to wait for it. Because I tell you what, Weddington, if they get out of here with a win tonight, it'll be tough to go down there and get another win at their park.
Yep.
So Spartans, right now, ball's in their court. Bottom of the 7th right here. 3 outs left for the Spartans to try to win this thing. 3 outs left for Weddington to try to save this thing. How are you? It's good to see you.
Any of these hitters coming up to the Spartans can definitely do it in one swing.
Oh, absolutely.
Which, and the same goes for Weddington when they're up too. Just they can't walk it off. But
I tell you
here we go,
what,
Spartans.
Here comes a young lady who put 2 great swings on Thomas earlier in the year. 1 for a home run and 1 home run that got robbed by the center fielder. She could have had 2 home runs in that game.
Yep.
So if she gets a hold of 1 here, we could see a game ender. Takes first pitch low for ball 1. Catcher does not like that again. She's looking back at him.
It's a big call. Difference in 0-1 and 1-0.
All right, Wiesner stepping back into the box. Wiesner with kind of a half swing there. Not sure if she wanted to swing, and then she did. Looked like a good pitch. Figure she'd have been firing all the way right there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Wiesner. Swinging at a ball in the dirt for strike 2. You almost feel like she's like trying to do too much with that swing instead of just letting it go. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Holland Wiesner. Nobody out for the Spartans here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Wiesner takes a pitch outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Continuing to consistently stay away on pretty much every hitter here for the Spartans. Feels like it's been a while since they've tried to go inside.
Wiesner just looked out of sorts the entire bat right there.
Yeah. Good pitching. Good job to attack a dangerous hitter and just go right at her and trust your pitch calls, trust with location.
She was diving out across the plate, swinging at him. That'll bring up Zaylee Brown with a chance to help herself out right here. Just getting on helps her out a ton. Swinging at the first pitch.
Clemens, Saturday, Sunday, I think maybe 1 and 3.
No balls, 1 strike. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ball game tied at 1. Brown takes a pitch on the outer half for strike 2. Catcher never moved her mid on that one.
Exactly where she wanted it.
Yep.
And just impressed here as we get in at the end of this game here, where Thomas has still got her location on pretty much every pitch she wants to throw.
Misses low. One ball, 2 strikes on Zaylee Brown. Looking to get a board here for the Spartans. And she strokes 1 to left center. Great play by the center fielder. She's probably one of the best center fielders we've seen this entire year.
Yeah, she's
getting everything down.
Getting to every ball in either gap. Doesn't matter which way. Great job getting a read off the crack of the bat.
I mean, the right fielder and the left fielder are playing 10 feet off the line, and she's playing straight up center field and is running down those balls effortlessly, pretty much. That'll bring up Weinbarger. Chance to extend this 7th inning here. Give McKenna Young a chance to hit with somebody aboard. Takes ball 1 high. I will say this, Weinbarger put a good swing on one last inning. The center fielder ran it down again in the gap. So you got to believe they got to just hit line drives over the second baseman's head to keep it anywhere away from the center fielder.
But it's at UNC.
Weinbarger fouls one straight back. Even up the count at 1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Weinbarger the hitter for the Spartans. Oh, line drive back to the pitcher for the 3rd out. That'll give Weddington a chance to hit and give everybody else a chance to see some free softball as we extend on into the 8th inning here. Coach?
Hey, did you see the we might have something similar to the was it 2A with West Wilkes? They went to, what, 12 innings yet last week? What if we had the same thing here? And the way these pitchers are throwing, we might just get it.
We may get 12 innings. I hope not.
Man, it's good pitching. Good, just great job here as we, like I said, going into this last, the later innings now and the extra innings of these pitchers keeping 2 really good offenses held down. I think if you would have said through 14 innings of this series that there would only be 3 runs scored, I don't know that many people would have thought that with these. And it's no slight to the pitchers at all because we got good pitchers in the circle, but
yeah,
we've got 2 really good offenses that have been held in check, and here we go.
Well, here we go. That's exactly right. 8th inning right here. Weddington got to be feeling good about getting Spartans out right there. And Spartans have to be feeling good about the way Brown's been throwing the ball in the circle. So here we go. All right, here comes our first free pitch of the game, Coach. Misses low, ball 1 to Thomas. A pitcher who's trying to extend her season is a dangerous hitter. Comes out, McCartney Harrington coming out of the box to get it, and throws her out of first base. Good stretch by Smith to stay with it.
Good job coming out of the crouch and pouncing on that one, coming up quick.
Great job. That's the first out of the inning.
Between the innings here. Get your ticket ready.
It's a good thing we had extra innings if we're going to now do the half and half.
That's a good thing to work. They forgot about it until we got to the 8th inning. It's almost like they were expecting. First pitch is a ball.
Hey, these pitchers are locked in. Let's just keep selling these things a little bit longer.
Life savings. I ain't even gonna joke.
Just misses away. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, it is. I told Blaine, I was like, if groceries are gonna be this expensive, we're just gonna go out to eat. So it's ridiculous.
We'll bring up pitch number 3 in the at bat. Fouls one down the right side. Smith will get over there and pick that one up. Right fielder Lindsay hitting for Weddington. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out in the inning. Hits one to center field. Over the head of the center fielder. She's going to go 2. They're up and in with it. Ooh. It ended up being a lot closer play than we thought it was going to be. I think thought she had second base made easily, and the relay got in so quick.
Good job on that relay. That's a tough play to make in center field. This hit really well, right over the head. Line drive hit right at you, or right past you is one of the toughest plays to do. And so probably one of the better hit balls Weddington's had all night.
It is.
Kennedy's 13th birthday party tomorrow.
Brown just misses away. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out in the inning. Weddington with a runner at second base. Spartans hoping to keep that runner at second base. Misses low for ball 2. Harrington calls timeout to go talk to Brown. We've not seen a mound visit from Coach Justice tonight. Got a lot of faith in Zaylee Brown out there.
Yeah, and even, here, especially this, last hitter, she's 2-0, and it looks like Harrington stepped out in front of the plate, and Zaylee she's like, give me the ball back. I want the ball back.
Yep.
She feels still got the confidence, still good to go. So.
Ground ball to Weinbarger. Got the runner hung up. Throws it back behind her and gets her out at second base. Great play by Weinbarger. Great play by McKenna Yunt, realizing that and getting over there and making the tag. Second base runner's still there. She's not leaving. Keeps shaking her head. No, I wasn't out. And he called her out.
Yeah. Great play. Looking at her. A lot of times you have a fielder, they know to look at them, and they might look at them and then still try to throw to first, but she did a great job locking in right there, seeing her about 5 or 6 steps off the second base.
I'm not sure what the discussion is here. That he called her out at second base.
Yeah.
And there we go. We get a confirmation. Great heads-up play by Mallory Weinbarger there, and with Yunt to be at second, just waiting for that to happen. That'll bring up the catcher. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Zaylee Brown putting a little bit of extra oomph on it. You can tell she got a little pumped up there. Got a dying cow in the stands. Fouled off the left side into the dugout of Weddington. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning here. Weddington hitting. Just misses outside. Looked like Harrington wanted to throw behind the runner at first. Held up on it.
If you're a runner out there, you got to be careful. Watch out, because she not afraid to throw behind them.
Pop fly to left field. Looks like Coffey's under it. And she squeezes it for the 3rd out of the inning. What a big out that was at second base. Spartans coming in with a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
So if you're South Caldwell, you want to definitely make a play like that you make pay off, make it hurt. That just a split-second decision right there to be an extra step off the base and throw back in behind her. And then conversely, if you're Thomas, you want to pick up your teammate there, and then get Weddington right back in the dugout to try to swing it in the 9th.
That's right.
So we'll see here.
That's a great play by the daughter of the town manager of the town of Sawmills there, Mallory Weinbarger.
I think he probably taught her how to do that.
He may have. He may have taught her how to do that. I know he started early with her. So,
yeah.
You know what kids pick up.
Yeah.
But great job. Even better job by Brown staying in it there the entire time, even after, like you said, she felt like Harrington called a timeout to come and talk to her. She didn't like that at all. She's like, I'm fine. And she was.
Yeah.
So
that's what you expect out of a senior. Seeing a lot of games, throwing a lot of pitches, and being in control.
That's exactly right.
See how aggressive they are here with Yunt. You figure if you are McKenna Yunt, you're going to get something good to hit early. Definitely, if you're Weddington, don't want to put anybody on in front of McCartney Harrington, and it's dangerous enough with nobody there, but especially put the winning run on base.
It's time for McKenna Yunt to have one of those patented leadoff hits that gets up.
Yeah.
Spark of the team ignited. You got to feel like if she gets on, we got a chance to win this thing immediately with Harrington hitting behind her. Evens up the count on 1. Missed high. 1 ball, 1 strike. We had a little chop going on in the student section out there. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Yunt. No outs here at the bottom of the 8th inning. In the second game of a 3-game series, best 2 or 3 series for the West Final. A run here for South Caldwell means they're moving on to the state title. Yunt reaching out and fouling one off right there. They're staying away from her. And you're looking for McKenna Yunt right here just to hit the ball where it's pitched. Don't try to do too much with it. Make them make a play. Pressure's on them to stay here.
If they choose to stay away, we've definitely seen her be able to go the other way.
And she does. Flares one over to the left side, just foul. Staying alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big situation here for the sophomore. She's a little bit up on the plate, a little bit more. Misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Almost feel like they may set her up for an inside pitch right here. Calls timeout. Pretty good decision right there by Yunt. Taking a little bit of time, getting the pitch in. Now we're settled back down. Takes another ball outside for ball 3, full count. Now McKenna Yunt, smart enough hitter to know I've got 1 pitch. Hit the strike.
Biggest pitch of the game so far coming.
This is it. And she fouls it off left side. Chance for third baseman to make the play. Hits the fence. Extends the at-bat right here. Good job getting a piece of it. All right, back into it right here. Full count on the hitter. Yunt fouls another one off. And she's good enough to foul those off until she gets one she likes and drive it somewhere.
Yunt's last at bat when they stayed away, and finally got her to roll over to one by busting her inside to see if they maybe do that after a couple pitches. Yep.
Oh, takes strike 3. Good pitch by Thomas.
Goes inside. Part of you almost feels like Yunt might be, everything's on the outside part of the plate for 8 or 9 pitches, whatever it was, and then just throwing that one on the inside part.
And that'll bring up McCartney Harrington. They're going out to visit. And you almost feel like right here she's saying, do not give her anything to hit. Make her hit your pitch. Don't come close to throwing it across the middle.
You know, back in the second round, we saw Huff with nobody on base and 1 out. Put Harrington on base. It looks like that's what Weddington's going to do right here.
They're going to do the same thing. They're going to put the winning run on first base with 1 out. That'll bring up Sydney Woodward. They're going to let Harrington run for herself, it looks like, instead of putting a runner in. Not sure about that decision, but hey, do what you got to do, I guess. Sydney Woodward attempts at the bunt, pops it up to the catcher for the 2nd out of the inning. Now they have to put a runner in for Harrington.
Sidney Baumgart.
Here comes Brooklyn Johnson again.
Brooklyn Johnson, courtesy runner for Harrington at first base. And that'll bring up the most clutch player we've seen throughout this entire season for South Caldwell, Sidney Baumgartner, with a chance to hit him into the state finals or extend the inning. Takes the first pitch. Ball one. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs here. Sidney Baumgartner pops one up to the right side. In play. Ooh. Second baseman catches it for the 3rd out of the inning. Little miscommunication there, and they ran into each other. The ball found one of them.
That was one of the first balls we've seen to not really be affected by the wind. That one looked like it was going to be on the warning track.
Yes, it did.
It ends up being a fair ball as when it's caught. I'll get a full 9 here.
That bunt that got popped up was a huge play right there for Weddington, making that out. So we move in, Coach, to the 9th inning. Playing a Major League softball game.
Man. You just watch it and you just, you know, the focus, the execution of the pitchers in the circle and the defenses behind them to just play a clean game and, you know, just whatever you want, wherever you're watching this one from, wherever, you know. I hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. Whether you're here, whether you're at the house, whether you're at Hickory Tavern eating, wherever you're at.
Crossroads Grill,
there
doesn't matter, wherever you are. All right, Zaylee Brown scheduled out here to start her 9th inning in a row. Ball one. Defense got to be on her toes right here. Expecting ground balls. And there's another one coming to Baumgartner at shortstop. Up with it, over to Smith at first. She holds on to it. Little snow cone catch over there. Good job hanging on to that one. First out of the inning.
Put away, brings up the 3rd baseman, number 4, Lane Arthur.
That'll bring up 3rd baseman Arthur for Weddington here. Base hit up the middle. Fielded by Woodward in center. Back in. Got a runner aboard. You got to believe she's going to go with the same approach she's had the last 2 at bats, with the slap or at least a drag bunt, push bunt, something. Got a discussion here by the umpires. Not sure what they're talking about. What you think, Coach?
I don't know. As soon as they came to make the substitution, Weddington did. Coach Justice was out there to say something.
Maybe this girl's not on the roster or on the lineup card, or not a number 12 or something. But
there was a sub back the last time the number 9 hitter got on base. There was a sub. And she was re-entered, and now we're going to run again.
So here's what we learned at Alexander Central the other night. You can re-enter a sub.
We have an out.
Yep. But that must have been her 2nd re-entry.
Yeah. Or maybe a re-entry without a report, or
did not report. So good catch over there by that Spartan coaching staff. Now they're going to discuss something else here. It's a quick discussion, so it must not be anything overturning. Well, that takes the runner off for Weddington.
Wow, big part of the game right there.
That's a huge call. She's back in the box, going to slap it again. May look at throwing her first pitch changeup here. Well, they didn't. They went with the fastball in the dirt, drop ball in the dirt. Coach, I would almost make her get way out there, maybe even come close to making contact out of the box with a changeup. Takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on LaMantia, who has been the spark plug right here for Weddington today with that big change, big adjustment as a hitter. Flies out to Coffey in left field. Coming up, let's give the Spartans another chance here in the bottom of the 9th. They win it. Perfectly played by Emily Coffey in left field, much like Tuesday night's game where she had it perfectly played out there.
It's about the best defense you can do against a little slapper right there.
Yes, it is.
Come in and play shallow and just hope you can get it before it hits the ground.
Absolutely. Well-placed outfield defense. It's a good job by that Spartan coaching staff catching that illegal substitution. Something you don't see very often. But it happened. And you almost got to think that the other night when it was done at Alexander, was it legal like we were talking?
It's regardless, great catch over there in the Spartan dugout
100%.
to find that one.
He came out immediately, like you said. As soon as that girl came running, they started talking in that dugout over there. All right. Spartans looking to ride out on a white horse right here. Brings up Emily Coffey, who's got a knack for getting on base.
Got a little energy in the crowd here.
Here we go. I think they're ready to go. They're like, all right, let's get it done right here, girls. We're ready to head out.
Say 9's enough.
Yeah. Coffey takes first pitch, strike on the outer half. Just getting on base right here. I don't know if we've got on base.
It's been a while.
With a hit in a while. So, fouls one back. No balls, 2 strikes on Coffey at the plate. No outs for the Spartans here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Thomas in the circle, who has pitched magnificently tonight. He's really settled down. Coffey with a base hit to center field. Great swing by Coffey, staying short to the ball. Just driving it right back through the box.
Yep. Short to it, long through it. Pitch trying to go to the outer half again. Good hitting by Coffey. Take it right back up the box and put the leadoff runner on.
That'll bring up big hitter Maddie Moore, who so far offensively has been silent in this series. But you got to believe she's about due for one. Takes a strike on the outer half. No balls, 1 strike. Offers a bunt, pulls it back, ball on the outer half of the plate, high. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's one thing we haven't seen Moore do is.
I don't know if anybody in the ballpark would be expecting her to bunt right there.
The third baseman she was even with the base back there. Oh. You're in a sacrifice bunt situation, you have to get it around there and sacrifice it. One ball, 2 strikes on Moore at the plate. Emily Coffey, the runner at first base for the Spartans. Takes a ball in the outer half. Just missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're being very effective with her out there on that outer half. She's yet to go with anything. Saves herself swinging at a changeup right there. Got a little piece of it, just enough to foul it off. Staying alive in it bat. Fouls it straight back on some heat from Thomas.
Good pitch right there, good swing, just missed it.
Might have been the hardest pitch she's thrown the entire night.
Yeah.
She let that one go. Moore was all over it, just fouled it straight back. Misses on the outer half. Full count on the hitter. Good job letting that one go by. A little out and low.
Yeah.
Catcher didn't like that one. Going out and saying, hey, tell you what, let's just throw a strike right here. All you need to do is throw a strike. All right, she's got one pitch. Hit the strike right here, Maddie Moore. Runner first base is Emily Coffey for the Spartans. Fans on their feet. Strikes her out. Fouled it straight back into the mitt.
Looked like she went right back to the same spot where they didn't like the pitch, the call for ball 3. Not afraid to go back to it and trust her stuff, get a swing through.
That'll bring up Highland Wiesner. Didn't look very comfortable in her last at bat, but you got to think that she's went over there and talked herself into having a good one this at bat. She looked a lot more on it right there, so a little late getting her timing down with that front foot. No balls, one strike. Fouls it straight back.
Definitely looks a lot more comfortable here through these 2 strikes.
She does.
Even, the strike 1, good take. Looks like she was just on it. Just didn't decide to swing it that time, found it straight back again.
No balls, 2 strikes on Wiesner. Strike 3. Swung it one up and out of the zone. It's 2 times in a row she struck out. That'll bring up Zaylee Brown. Looking for her to get a decent swing on one right here. Put it somewhere out in the grass. Give Coffey a chance to get to third. Fouls it into the Weddington dugout off the end of the bat. No balls, 1 strike to Zaylee Brown. Swinging at a changeup that almost hit the dirt. No balls, 2 strikes.
Got a couple pitches to play with here, but Thomas, see if she nibbles around or just goes right at her.
I say she's probably just going to throw that fastball as hard as she can, like she did.
I believe so.
Not waste anything, get the dugout quick. Oh, Brown going deep to center field. Home run! It's over! Oh my goodness gracious! Zaylee Brown with a home run to center field to send the Spartans to the state finals.
Wow.
Oh,
it looks
my
like
goodness gracious.
We talked about the center fielder being all over the place. It looked like that one was in her glove as well.
Over it.
She hits the fence.
Wow. Zaylee Brown doing it all for the Spartans here tonight. What a great way to end the season.
Wow. Complete game in the circle, 9 extra innings, 9 innings.
And a walk-off, 2-run home run. Everybody here is on their feet. Weddington in disbelief on just what happened. We all are.
Unbelievable.
Wow. What a great way to end that one here. Bottom of the 9th inning. And you'll see the Spartans going to play in the state finals against the winner of D.H. Connolly and
Cleveland.
Did they play tonight?
Let's check on it real quick.
See who they may be playing. If Conley won, they're playing them. Conley had the 1-game lead in the series. Tell you what, that was a great effort by that center fielder. We have seen her catch everything.
She was everywhere all night,
and
she was there on that one.
She was there on that one. Just the fence, I think, kept her from making that by giving her that extra push back into the field.
Yep.
Or otherwise, she's got that one too. What a great effort by this Weddington team.
What a game.
Definitely making it tough.
Yeah. It looks like D.H. Conley is 1 out away from advancing to the state championship themselves. From the East, they're up 6-2. Wow, what a I don't even know what to really say. I mean, you guys saw it just like we did.
Oh,
and
my goodness gracious.
Looked like center fielder had that ball in her glove as she leaps.
That fence just kept her from getting it all the way.
Yeah.
And she had it in her glove. Fence jarred. I think the fence just jarred her whole body and it fell out on the other side. What a way to end this thing. And the Spartans are going to get a play.
Wow.
D.H. Conley, it looks like, for a state championship.
How do you top that? I mean, every time we're up here, there's something crazy. It's a great game. It's just fun to watch, and I mean, for that to happen here,
people are going crazy. Well, you got 11 people doing push-ups down here like it's a basketball or a football game that just scored another touchdown.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable.
How lucky are we? Get to watch this and do that. And, I mean, you just feel so bad for the for Weddington.
Put it over me, man.
You feel so rough for Weddington, but now South Caldwell getting the trophy for being the Western Regional champions here.
Couldn't be more proud of these girls. Like you said, great job by Weddington, who had a phenomenal season.
Yep.
Definitely made it as tough as they could for the Spartans to let us only score 4 runs in an entire series or 2 games. Thomas did an amazing job.
Absolutely. If you're Weddington and you go into this saying, okay, through 2 games we're going to give up 4 runs to an offense like this, you got to be feeling pretty confident.
Yeah.
But then you tip your cap, and just credit goes to the South Caldwell pitching staff to hold an offense like Weddington through 16 innings. 2 games, 7 and 9, 16 innings, holding them to the 1 run. Both Maddie Moore on Tuesday night at Weddington doing what she did, and then Zaylee Brown doing it tonight with the 9 innings and the complete game with. Man, and then just come up big in that.
Oh, man.
And, her first 2 swings, the first 2 swings, first 2 strikes in that at bat didn't really look the best. I mean, the foul off and then swings through it. I mean, it isn't looking good. And, we were just talking about, was Thomas going to nibble, go at her? She went right at her, and just credit to Zaylee Brown for putting the barrel on the ball.
We said she's going to try to throw a fastball by her, and she did. It didn't go by. It went out.
Yep.
And that's about the best you can do.
Unreal. What a game. Everybody here treated just one of the best games we've seen here in a while.
Maybe the best game we've ever seen.
Yeah. I think you're going to remember this one for a long time.
Unbelievable. None of these fans have even left. They're still standing here waiting for them to get over so they can congratulate everybody again.
I don't know if people might be sticking around here for a little bit. I figure their chairs have been out here for 26 hours already. They might as well just keep them out here for a while.
That's exactly right.
But wow, you got little kids. You're talking about you got little kids running the poles with the Spartans in the outfield right now.
They all just jumped out there and started running.
Oh, what a time! What a great game!
Wow, how huge was that illegal substitution?
It's big.
And getting that out.
Yep.
That was a huge call.
Yeah.
Huge difference. And potentially, I mean, that's a go-ahead run that they're completely taking off the bases, and then all we got to do is get it out, and we did.
But we're up here. We don't know exactly everything that had happened, but regardless, we talked about it in the moment. Great job by the Spartan dugout being right on top of that and being able to catch that one and to recognize it and get that one. Man, just great plays all around. You got the inning before when Weddington has the runner on second base with the 1 out. Great play by Weinbarger to throw in behind her and get her there. And just great plays all over the place
Now
all night.
the thunder's rolling out here now. You can hear it. And lightning now. Hey, way to hold off for a little while
There we go.
Well, I tell you what, this was so fun to watch. I hope to goodness we get to go do that state champ. I don't think we may not get to, but if we do, I want to be there for the whole thing.
Couldn't ask for much more.
And hopefully those games go similar to what we have done this year.
Yeah.
And us coming out on top. And just an amazing time here. And I tell you what, one more shout out I want to give to the town of Sawmills and for them allowing us to, or giving us the payment to do this broadcast, because we have to pay for those every time we come in here. Town of Sawmills, Chase Weinbarger, Tanner Green, just doing everything they can support this program. But we just want to thank them again. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Matter of fact, there's Tanner Green right there.
Get a little post-game interview.
Appreciate it.
And thanks, Ethan James, South Caldwell, everything they do, letting us do this.
Yes.
We're as blessed and as grateful as we can be to just be up here and allow you guys to see it if you're not here, and then have the best seat in the house to watch these girls do what they do and see great softball and great year for Weddington. Next year they're going to be right back in the thick of it. So just hat tip to everybody and
a huge shout out to Jason McGinnis, who does this production through Blue Bear Productions. You catch that on YouTube. Phenomenal job by him and the guys that are running the cameras. Carter McGinnis, Davis Smith out there running cameras for us. I want to thank those guys and allowing us just to come out here and do this. And it's probably the funnest thing we could possibly do.
It's a blast every time we're up here. We led into this earlier today talking about how every time we're up here it's a great game, it's a close game. It's going to come down to the end. None bigger than this one on a big stage, and the way to end it like that. Just shout out to everybody that lets us do this. Thanks so much. And
that's right.
And just what a night for the Spartans.
That's right. Once again, congratulations to Weddington on an outstanding season, making it to the West Finals, being ranked #1 in the state at one point. Great job by them and their fine coaching staff. And like I said, went down to their top-notch facility this past Tuesday. Congratulations to Weddington getting here. And a huge congratulations to these South Caldwell Lady Spartans and Coach Justice and the fine coaching staff that he's got. But on that note, guys, we're going to have to shut it down. I'm Jerry Whitman. Hope we get to see you again soon. With me, as always, the mastermind behind everything you hear on here, stat-wise and all that, the voice, Mr. Heath Dagenhart. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for all those fans that are here, and thank you guys